Hello, class. Lucas Graham. I finally get to see my face a little bit without my mustache. So I'm here to do my graphic novel pick for this assignment. It is called American Wasteland. It was a pretty cool graphic novel to read. I really liked it, and I hope that you guys will like it too if you decide to read it. And so again, it's called American Wasteland. The writers for this is created by Artie Hall and Mark Kibwell. Artie Hall is this writer. He's done some other work too. He's got some like six other graphic novels, including this one. And Mark Kibwell is a little more well known in the comic world. He writes this series called 68, and he is very like a jack of all trades in creating comics. He writes, he does pencil work, he inks, he makes front covers, he makes back covers. So he's really creative in the comic world, and he's credited with a lot of different um, comics that he helps create. It's published by Arcana Studios. They are located in Canada. They're one of the largest comic book publishers in Canada. They also create some short films, some animated series. So they have a lot of mediums, and the owner is Sean O'Reilly. Art director Todd DeMong. Editors are Stephanie Renee, Stepan Sajak, Kevin Hanna, and book design Tom and Maurer. In the creative team for this comic, there's Artie Hall on the story. There's Mark Kibwell penciling with Andrew Magnum, inks Tony Bledsoe. J Photos does a lot of the work on this comic. Andrew Magnum again, and J Photos, Carlos Badia, Thomas White, Sean DePasquale. Mark Kibwell again with J Photos again. So they're using a lot of the same guys for the creative team. And sorry, back cover Tony Moore and J Photos. So I like the art a lot. It's very cool. It's very unique. I especially like this guy the most. He's pretty sadistic in this whole thing. So he's our main antagonist. He doesn't have a name. The premise of this is there's these creatures that are rising up, and that they used to be people, but they don't know. No one has any idea how they were made. They just kind of show up. There's lots of theories that are discussed in the story, but no one really knows. And but they're organized, they're smart, they're strong. So they're kind of like just the your worst nightmare. And the story follows a three-act structure. Starts with this guy Cletus. He's a trucker. He's just trying to get home to his mom who he loves a lot, and trying to get a hold of her. And there are these creatures that are starting to pop up. So once he gets a hold of her, he notices that, hey, she's like, hey, there's these creatures around here too. So Act One goes, he has to fight one. He meets this guy who mentors him about what these creatures are, what their weakness is, and then how you can kill them really easily. Long story short, this guy ends up getting killed by this guy. There's our main bad guy, and then there's this boy right here who's running from him that Cletus saves, and this boy is like very important to these monsters. So he's kind of our inciting incident that Cletus picks up and protects, and that brings Cletus into this other world. So Act 1 ends on page 20, about page 29, and it does read as a complete graphic novel from beginning to end, but there are these pages in there that makes it look like it could be a compilation of a few comics. And so this about where 29 is where it ends, and we'll go over. You'll see this picture. It's just like a splash page, but it almost looks like a transition into the next series picture. So this could be a compilation of a few, but when you read this version of it, it reads as a complete novel, a complete graphic novel. So Act 2 starts page 33. They've got these army guys, and obviously Cletus's main goal is to get home to his mom. He's got this kid now, and then he has to get past around. He's got some obstacles he's got to do. He's being held by these army guys for quarantine, and you can see these monsters getting more and more. They're getting more organized. He meets Katie, who's this girl. He starts to be. She's the father of the or daughter of the guy who was killed. That mentored him a little bit, and so he's part of their crew now. And then Act Two really gets in transition of fighting these creatures and these battle scenes, and they're pretty cool. And so that ends about page 75 is where that scene ends. They've captured his rig's busted. They've captured the creatures have captured Katie, and they're going to Cletus's mom's house to kill her and Katie. So Cletus has to get home to save his mom. You'll see like, hey, I'm never gonna see this rig again. It's pretty funny. And so yeah, that's where Act 3 picks up on page 76 and ends there. There's a showdown at his mom's house. Obviously, I don't want to give away the ending, but the resolution is different. It's definitely different. Some people may like it. Some people may not like it. It wraps it up. It's kind of bad. It's bad in a way. It's good in a way. So it's not just a completely happy ending like some people like. It's people. This is about creatures who kill people. So important people are gonna die. So I won't give away the ending, but yeah. So we're getting a little bit of the style here. The transitions were really good. I like the transitions. I was not lost at all in the transition. Um, the subject to subject were fine. The panels are structured perfectly, so I didn't get lost. And uh, in Scott McCloud's version, or what he talks about with his panels, is us filling in the gaps, especially in the scene-to-scene transitions, where they're different locations. Doesn't leave you wondering what happened in between there. Obviously, we as the reader were able to fill that time and space into what happened pretty easily. I was never lost when I was in the transition between panels, especially the scene to scene. The action transitions were perfect. They never got lost. Especially that was important in the battle scenes when different people are battling different creatures. They were able to jump to different action scenes, and it worked fine. The dialogue bubbling was very creative. I thought when the creatures are speaking, you get kind of this black bubble with the red outline, which I liked. So there's no confusion when humans and the creatures are talking together. When the humans are talking, the bubbling does get a little layered and detailed, so you really got to pay attention to the tails. And so, like I said, I had a hard time with this at first, but I might have had to read it again, and then it was fine. So it flowed well. The panels flowed perfectly with the dialogue. It progressed the story forward. The paneling is different on every page, so but it didn't confuse me at all. I knew exactly where I was in the story. Yeah, so I liked it. It was really good. I would definitely recommend this to any of the students who want to read it. And it's pretty gory. It is a horror comic. There's some foul language, so if that stuff bothers you, I might give it another look. Just to maybe the first few pages bother you. You may not want to watch the end of it. So yeah, I recommend it. You have to buy it. It's pretty cheap. It's only like $4.99. Fun fact about this: Arcana publishers, they donate like thousands of comics each year to the Boys and Girls Club. I thought that was pretty cool. I'd never heard of publishers doing that. So there's your fun fact. And I'm gonna pop up here again for a second. Right. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. It's good to see all of you towards the end of the class. We're getting close to graduation, so hope you guys have fun. Give me all your honest feedback on the video. I'm not much of a video creator, so any feedback's good. I appreciate everything, and have a good day or night, depending on when you're watching this. All right.